This is Disneyland News Today. I'm Tom Corliss, and here now are the top Disneyland resort stories for March 16th, 2023. It's official, the long refurbishment of the Indiana Jones adventure at Disneyland is finally coming to an end. The attraction, in fact, will reopen tomorrow, and it reopens on Friday. According to the Orange County Register, it'll reopen on Friday, March 17th, a lucky St. Patrick's Day indeed. The Indiana Jones adventure previously closed on January 9th for a much-needed refurbishment. A lot of things needed fixing in that attraction. Disney has remained cagey about a reopening date for the attraction other than spring. And per the Register, the attraction closed for, quote, seasonal refurbishment and maintenance to address behind-the-scenes and guest-facing updates to audio animatronics and other special effects, but not any significant changes from a story standpoint. The last refurbishment of the ride was in 2020 when the collapsing bridge was replaced, among other issues. So we'll see tomorrow what's different in there, but it sounds like they're kind of denying that there's any Dial of Destiny updates, and maybe there aren't. Maybe they didn't bother to add anything from the upcoming film just yet, but we'll find out tomorrow. Either way, a much-needed refurbishment. All aboard the Run-Amok Railroad. EngineEAR Souvenirs, the exit gift shop to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, has finally opened to guests at Disneyland. And not only do we have a full tour of the new store, you can also take a look through all of the new merchandise that's available to commemorate Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and its grand opening. EngineEAR Souvenirs is located right next to the attraction, as you would have guessed, in Mickey's Toontown. It serves as the exit of the ride, and the sign has an old Disneyland Viewliner train perched atop it. The name of the store is also actually a reference to EngineEAR Toys, which was a shop at the entrance of Disney California Adventure back when that was that Sunshine Plaza? Was that the name of that? Man, going back a long time with that. That was one ugly exterior to that store. But anyway, this one's much prettier. Inside, the shop follows the same 1920s cartoonish Art Deco style that the El Capitan Theater sports next door. The interior is adorned with plenty of railroad references and even features a suspended train track course above. And like the queue, we saw plenty of references to Mickey's cartoons over the years. Already we could see one of these, a sign reading "Stop, Look, and Listen." Off to the right, this sign references a classic song from the 1950s era Mickey Mouse Club series featuring the original Mouseketeers. The series featured shorts called "I'm No Fool," all of which were written by Jimmy Dodd, including one talking about pedestrian safety, and the lyrics "Stop, Look, and Listen" were part of the title for that short. On these Doodleburg model train boxes, we see many handwritten signatures as well as classic gags like assorted clowns, warning some clowns may be scary for sensitive adults. And to the left, we see a poster for the 1940 short Mr. Mouse Takes a Trip, including Mickey's straw hat and cane, luggage for Mickey and Pluto, bones for the pup himself, and Pete's conductor hat and pocket watch, all from that short are right there. This display references Minnie's Boutique from the Minnie's Bo-Toons, as well as the blimp from Mickey and the Roadster Racers, among other nods to newer Disney Junior cartoons. Above the Doodlebug model train boxes are little wooden, what are supposed to be wooden models of Mickey's house and Minnie's house, both as they exist at both Disneyland and Tokyo Disneyland. And above to the left, we see a Vacation Land magazine made thrice annually by Disneyland in the 60s and 70s. Above, we see plenty of train-themed items like lanterns, as well as Walt Disney's Christmas Parade comic, issue number 5 from 1966. To the right is a little wood piece that represents the garage from Mickey's Roadster Racers. And to the left is another reference to the Viewliner train. Next up is Minnie's Style Studio, the new Minnie Mouse meet and greet, which opened at Tokyo Disneyland in 2020. Moving on, we see a statue of Cornelius Coote, founder of Duckburg, who was formerly, this statue was part of Mickey's Toontown Fair at the Magic Kingdom before that closed. Above to the right is Goofy's Paint and Playhouse, also from Tokyo Disneyland. And below that, we see the Barnstormer at Goofy's Wiseacre Farm, another reference to the now gone Mickey's Toontown Fair. Finally, the last part of the diorama references the current Disney Junior series Mickey Mouse Funhouse with the titular Funhouse. And to the right is the beloved House of Mouse from the series of the same name. Kids, look it up. It's not on Disney Plus for some reason. They're keeping this series from us. In my estimation as a Disney fan, the most fan service of any cartoon series ever. There's an episode that actually has the test track cue music in it. It's unbelievable. Go look it up, kids. And there's also a castle from Mickey, Donald, and Goofy in their version of the Three Musketeers. And finally, we have two delightful holiday references. First up is the sign from Crazy Pete's Tree Lot, where Mickey worked to buy Minnie a gold chain for her watch in Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. And to the right of that is a stack of gold gift boxes, which Minnie and Daisy used during their ice skating contest in Bells on Ice. That's a segment of Mickey's twice upon a Christmas. Other railroad set parts sit atop the shelf in addition to joke-broken signs about the end of the train tracks. The model Viewliner runs atop the store, and we see faux departure boards on the wall. And trains are set to depart for locales like Camp Woodchuck, a real mini-land at Tokyo Disneyland. It also appears in a lot of the stuff with the ducks, whether it be DuckTales or the comic strips, all that kind of stuff. Spoonerville from Goof Troop, Hot Dog Hills from Mickey's Roadster Racers, and Mouseton from various Mickey Mouse comic books over the years. And some of the cash registers also reference important dates in Disney history, such as Walt Disney's birthday on December 5th. We also have the opening date of Mickey's Toontown on January 24th, 1993. And above the register, the lights appear similar to those of signal lights on a train station. There's so much more we don't have time to simply cover here, but the team that worked on this Runaway Railway did such a tremendous job. Blew away the Florida one. In Florida, our gift shop, they built a stand outside, which the only cool thing about it is that it's called Great Movie Finds. And that's not even on a sign. You have to buy something to see that on a receipt. And that's all that's even remotely cool about it. And our queue is bad also. But I'm glad to see the Disneyland version is as perfect as this ride could get. They did a fantastic job. And the store shows more of that. More than a month after the attraction first opened to guests at Disneyland, Runaway Railway in Mickey's Toontown still didn't have a gift shop, of course, but now it does. And now that EngineEAR Toys is open, let's take a look at some of the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway merchandise that is currently available. They have magnets for $14.99 each. There's one with the attraction's logo. There's one with the likeness of the neon sign from the Hollywood Studios version. And finally, the third shows Chubby, the merchandise bird, as we call him, on a plain yellow background with "Nothing Can Stop Us Now" written below. There's also a Chubby D-Tech iPhone case for $34.99, a Minnie, Mickey, Pluto, and Chubby iPhone case for $34.99, a Runaway Railway youth shirt, which is $29.99, a Runaway Railway ornament for $26.99. There's an ear headband available for $34.99. This is new. We haven't even seen this in Florida. A remote control roadster for $49.99. I don't think the trunk opens, though, so Minnie can't kick Pluto into the trunk in this one. There's also a new mug for $24.99 and a adult shirt for $29.99 as well. More merchandise is expected to come later, but this is what they have for now. It's been a rough couple of weeks for the queue of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway at Disneyland Park, and while the attraction is almost the same as Hollywood Studios, again, that queue in the El Capitan Theater, inspired by the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood, is full of ornate details, but unfortunately, some of those ornate details are within reach of guests, and therein lies the problem, folks. Of course, at the concession stand, we have seen a number of different things busted off and broken and all sorts of things. You may remember just a couple days into the ride's operation, a fake pepper shaker had been ripped off. It got put back the next day, though. A cast member informed us that they retrieved it from the guest and they reattached it. But a month later, the pump from the fake nacho cheese dispenser was ripped off, likely a similar incident. Guests also later witnessed a child rip one of the Pluto's Christmas tree ornaments from its spot and throw it across the room. And recently, the salt shaker went missing next to the $11.18 cash register at the concession stand. It seems the pepper shaker was torn out as it was later sitting in the salt shaker spot. Apparently, cast members weren't able to recover the salt shaker, so they chose to replace it with one of the fake gumballs. Unfortunately, just a day after that, the gumball that had replaced the shaker had been ripped off as well. Man, given that it was the replacement, I mean, I guess it probably maybe wasn't glued down super great, but the fact is that people are pulling on this stuff, and I don't know why. The people know it's loose, and so that's why they're doing it, or kids just, your parents just letting kids rip at things. I don't know, but also interestingly enough, in the exit shop, those Doodlebug model train boxes, some guests have started peeling at the decals on those as well. So it's not exclusive to the queue anymore. It looks like the store is going to have its fair share of damage in the short run also. We will keep up with this. It's a real shame because literally what I said, we met a group of Imagineers after we rode the ride on opening day. And the first thing I said was the queue is beyond fantastic. It is Tokyo Disney quality. It's like what I would expect from there, which there's never any restraint on spending there, it seems. I mean, there is, but Everything just always looks so ornate and so great. And they did that level of work on this Runaway Railway queue. And it's a shame because the American audience just, it's a cultural difference. American audiences are not going to be as respectful of their surroundings. Kids are going to pick at things. Adults are going to pick at things. It's a shame that that's the case because it's a beautiful queue. It's a shame to see people absolutely tearing it apart. And it might just be a matter of time before we see them sort of give up and just remove a lot of the propping or either like put it behind a fence or something. Who knows what they're going to have to do, but we'll keep track of it. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, the Vacationeer, the engineers of your next magical vacation. Sit back and let their team of vacation planning experts craft your family's next magical Disney trip. The best part is their services are free. Visit WDWNT.travel for details. Disney Live Entertainment has shared a behind-the-scenes tech walkthrough of Disneyland's recently debuted Wondrous Journeys Nighttime Spectacular, showcasing the team responsible for the show's projections, pyrotechnics, and special effects that bring the magic of Disney's centennial celebration to life. Of course, this show has been very positively received. I loved it also. I think it's a great show. Go check out the whole video on our site. It's up at DisneylandNewsToday.com. It's worth the watch. It's pretty interesting. Take a little bit of the Disney 100 Years of Wonder celebration home even before midnight with the new Disney 100 Cinderella's Coach Premium Popcorn Bucket at Disneyland. It's $30. Unfortunately, it's raining during our visit, so these aren't the prettiest pictures, but nonetheless, we have them for you. The pumpkin-shaped coach is platinum and sits on royal purple wheels, the colors of the 100 Years of Wonder celebration. A sea emblem is on the side doors for Cinderella, and there she is in her wedding dress looking out the window. It's the same design as the 70th anniversary Cinderella bucket, but just in new colors. I think this is the third different version of this bucket they've done now. The strap is a light lilac color with Disney 100 and 100 Years of Wonder repeated in dark purple with stars. You can find the bucket, no glass slipper required, at the Fantasyland Theater, as well as popcorn carts near Sleeping Beauty Castle, It's a Small World, and Town Square on Main Street, USA. The Eggstravaganza Easter egg hunt has reimagined Disney characters as Easter eggs once more and scattered them throughout the Disneyland Resort. There's 3 separate hunts now available, one at Disneyland Park, one at Disney California Adventure, and another at the Downtown Disney District. The 2023 Eggstravaganza is happening across the resort from March 13th through April 9th. Guests can pick up their game boards and stickers for $9.99 and have fun searching high and low for Disney characters in Easter egg form. Of course, the prize is a little Disney character Easter egg. Please check our site for the locations where you can buy and redeem at the 2 parks and as well Downtown Disney. All that information up on our website. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WDWNT Inner Globe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. Special shout out to all of our WIGS members watching who make this show happen every week. A Disneyland guest was caught on video dragging her child on his safety leash across the hard ground of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. TikTok user Casey Callahan20 shared the video embedded on our site, and the one you're watching right now, in which the child stumbles and turns himself over as his guardian pulls him behind her to the edge of the sidewalk. The child appears uninjured. The guardian appeared to not notice nor care that the child was being dragged along the pathway. That is a pretty hard stone pathway, by the way. It's got some little jagged parts to it, by the way. Of course, attention has dramatically increased on guest incidents and misconduct in the Disney parks as social media continues to increase in popularity, particularly on short-form video platforms such as TikTok. Recent viral incidents at Disneyland include a guest sneaking a firework in for photos, a guest climbing onto a Lunar New Year processional float, a pair of guests drinking Splash Mountain water and eating a bread bowl on the Incredicoaster, and a prohibited drone crashing in Frontierland. It is wild, man. You think Mickey's Toontown is wacky. The real guests are even wackier now. Speaking of Toontown, obviously this weekend we are celebrating the grand reopening of the rest of Toontown. I'm actually heading out there this weekend to cover the opening festivities. We'll also be doing a walkthrough with an Imagineer who worked on both the first iteration of Toontown and the current iteration, Jim Shull. We actually have a pre-recorded interview with Jim Shull, which is, I think, one of the best we've ever had. I loved it. It's an hour long, and it's just a fascinating look behind the scenes at the creation of the original Toontown and a little bit of insight into the new Toontown as well. And that'll be released on this channel on Saturday, so stay tuned for that. If you're a WIGS member, it's actually already available to watch. You can go on Patreon and find the link for it. We gave you early access to it. But it's honestly one of my favorite interviews we've ever done. It was so much fun, and there's such good stories, some real funny ones. So please go check that out. And then, of course, lots of Toontown coverage throughout the weekend as we are there again for the opening of, Goofy's house is back with the play yard, the new Donald's boat, the Chip and Dale gadget coaster, Mickey and Minnie's house will be back. So much to look forward to this weekend, so stay tuned. For the absolute latest Disneyland news, head on over to DisneylandNewsToday.com and follow us on your favorite social media platforms. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video, subscribe to WDW News Today on YouTube for more great content, and click the bell for notifications. Also, hit select all notifications so you never miss an episode of DLNT. And for DLNT, this is Tom Corliss saying, enjoy the rest of your today, and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. And say goodbye, Chubby the merchandise bird. Wave to all the people at home.